What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, then welcome to the channel. My name's Corey, and today we're going to be discussing Magic Find in Path of Exile 2. Before I get deep into my long-winded rant, I want to just give my opinions on magic finding. First off, I think it should stay in the game. I think the only issue with Magic Find or item rarity in Path of Exile 2 is the fact that it affects currency. I think that is a big problem. I think that's a big no-no, and I think that that needs to go away. I think loot being influenced by Magic Find is a fantastic thing to put into the game. However, when it affects currency, people do have this feeling that they need to put it onto their build. I'm a trader. I like to find good stuff and throw it in my stash for people to buy on the trade site. That is what I enjoy in Path of Exile. That's what I enjoy in Path of Exile 2. I also throw stuff in my guild stash so that people in my guild can grab stuff when they see that it's something that they need. I build Magic Find because I enjoy finding treasure, finding items. I don't build Magic Find so that I can farm currency. If I were to farm currency, that is something that I would understand or assume would be more likely to drop, if at all, from higher tiered content. I think the higher tier of the content that you're running, the difficulty scaling, currency drops should scale with difficulty of the content in which you're running. Magic finding should only affect the white, yellow, blue, orange items that drop on the ground, not currency. That's how I feel about it. Now, as far as the big conversation that's going around or going on regarding Magic Find and how necessary or unnecessary it may be, I think that people that are looking to farm the highest end content in the game should not feel like they need Magic Find. I think that that should be a last, maybe I'll throw it on my build so I can get some more yellows. Perfectly understandable. I don't think it's something that somebody should be feeling is completely necessary to be on their build. If it's removed, if the currency aspect of Magic Find, of item rarity, was removed from it, I think this entire conversation would not be happening right now. From day one, from day one, my initial thing was I'm going to have item rarity. This was something that me and my friend talked about as we were leveling up. We're going to put item rarity on our gear, and we're going to be looking for better gear. That's just, and for me, I'm like, dude, I've been playing Diablo 2 since I was a child. Like, of course I'm going to be putting item rarity on my gear. Like, I've been an ARPG, an avid ARPG player for like 25 years now. Of course I'm going to be putting magic. I'm a treasure hunter. It's what I do. When I found out it affected currency, I was like, holy shit, that's huge. Definitely doing it now. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. Am I going to utilize it while it's available? You bet your ass I am. And I think that's the feeling that a lot of other people are having right now, is that, well, it's for currency. Of course I'm going to use it. I have to use it. If it wasn't for currency, because a lot of other people, they're not going to be picking up all their yellows and inspecting it. They're not going to be picking up the blues that seem like they might be okay and looking at them. They're just going to leave it on the ground, currency items, and go. Like, that's what a lot of the higher end players focus on. Currency items and go. A little bit of gear here and there, but mostly it's just pick up the shit that's actually worth the money that takes the smallest amount of space. And it's going to be the money itself, the currency items. Yeah, there's going to be people picking up loot, but Magic Find should always be more for people that are just looking for gear, looking for I mean, just gear, really. That's what it is. In Diablo 2, I could have 300 magic find, I could have 0% magic find, and the runes that would drop were not changed. High runes in magic find, which is the current, or high runes in Diablo 2, which is the currency in Diablo 2, was unaffected entirely by magic find. They were the items in the game that could drop from anything. That's how everything was in Diablo 2, with the exception of torches and Annihilus. Anything could drop from any monster of their, of its item level. So you build Magic Find, and you get more uniques. You get more set items. You get more yellow items. You get more blues. Meaning you're getting less white items. You're getting more magical items. Your runes didn't change. The amount of gold dropped, that was a completely different stat that you could build into. I don't think it should affect currency. I think I think that is the big misstep with Magic Find, how it is making it affect currency. The other big thing I think that is creating this huge discussion, this huge back and forth, is that you've got different sets of people that are posting different types of videos. And on one hand, you've got people that are posting videos that are these big massive loot drops that they got from this T15 map that was fully juiced, and they ran a breach, and they got, all this crazy amazing loot from it. And it's like, okay, that's awesome. How many other maps that were just as juiced, just as tiered, just as breached, have you ran with the same amount of magic find and gotten a very, very small fraction of that same amount of gear? How many dead maps have you ran? Because that's the other thing that people are not seeing. You can have 300% magic find and still run super juiced maps and walk away like, where the fuck's the loot? You can also have 0% magic find and run a white T15, a white T5, and walk away with, 2 divines, 20 exalts, and like, okay, cool, let's fucking go. But you're not going to see those types of videos. You're not going to see those types of posts. You've got people saying that Magic Find is terrible, and they're going to post a 0 or, 20%, 40% Magic Find run with almost no drops. I'm going to tell you right now, I felt like my drops were better at 40% Magic Find than they are at 160. It's felt really bad. Like, I built my character, I was running maps, I was getting fucking divines, I was getting a shit ton of exalts, I was cruising, I was doing great. And then out of nowhere, I just stopped getting gear, stopped getting loot. And this was after I kind of restructured my build a little bit, got some more magic find on, because I was like, okay, I've got my resistances and everything all checked out. Now I can start getting better gear and make sure that that better gear has a magic find on it. And so I did that. And my drops have been shit. So I honestly, the past couple days have been leveling up a cold quarterstaff monk, a fucking ice strike monk. Because I'm like, okay, well, let's see what this is all about. And I just got him to maps. So I think the biggest thing after a nice little rant, little chat, I think the biggest things, the one thing that needs to happen, the only thing that needs to happen with Magic Find, maybe 2 things. One is that it needs to stop affecting currency. I've gone over that. That is something that I think everybody can agree on. with the exception of the people that are incapable of separating their own profits from the health of the game. People that don't really understand how any form of economics work would say no, it needs to keep affecting currency. I think that's a big no-no. Your divine drops, your exalt drops should not be affected by your magic find. If that's the case, that is a problem. And I think that people need to stop highlighting bad faith arguments for Magic Find. I think that there's going to be a group of people that want Magic Find completely removed from the game. There's going to be and I think those are the kind of people that, what's the correct way to word this without sounding wrong? Because I don't mean it the way it's going to sound, but people that are prone to acting before fully considering what they're doing. I don't think it needs to be removed. I think it needs to be adjusted. It needs to be modified. Having a stat like Magic Find in the game, it makes people like me. I'm never gonna farm hardcore bosses. I'm never gonna farm high-end bosses. It's just not my thing. It's not what I do. It's not really what I'm interested in. I just like magic finding. I like playing through the game, and I like running maps, and I like killing shit and getting loot. That's just what I find fun. Getting currency along the way is great. Can make my build better that way. I don't think that Magic Find should affect that. I think having Magic Find in the game, again, allows someone like me who just likes to go out and hunt for loot. It gives me a stat that I can look for on my gear that makes it more better for me to do. It makes it easier for me to go out and find yellow and blue items when I've got this stat equipped. That's great. I want that. I like that. I guess that's really about the end of it. I don't really have too much else to say. If you enjoyed this kind of, I tried to keep it as level-headed as possible, my approach to it. If you enjoy these types of discussions regarding stuff going on with Path of Exile 2, please consider subscribing to the channel. Like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment down below of something that's happening in the game that you want me to look at, think about, talk about, and maybe we'll do that. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.